Hi, this is a quick video on how to tie a stretchy from tying to putting baby in. It's a standard pocket wrap cross carry. I'm using the Bebe basic wrap. Find the middle of your carrier. The Bebe is a two-way stretchy, so it stretches along the width and the length. This video won't necessarily work if you're using a one-way stretch where it only stretches along the width, because it takes out all the slack and you'll find it hard to put baby in. But with a two-way stretchy, an Isme, a Hannah, a Bebe, a Bebe, Joy and Joe, the two-way one, you'll be fine. So, find the middle. We're going to pleat to halfway. So I'm working with less fabric, I'm not sort of stretching myself and having too much to play with. I'm going to take this under my bust with the middle in the middle of my chest, and I'm only holding the top rail where it curls in on itself on both sides. I'm going to take the fabric behind me and hook it into one hand. I'm using my index finger or my middle finger to hook the top rail on the pass. My spare hand is going to go underneath, round, bring one side up and onto my shoulder, and then I'm going to take the other side up and onto my shoulder. This creates a cross on my back, and you'll see my left shoulder is quite spread, but my right just feels a little bit, so I'm just going to just shake just to flatten them out and not make sure I've got any twists. I'm going to take my tails. You can do this together in one hand or separately, and bunch and pop them through the horizontal path that's going round my waist. The mistake most people make is at this point they just tie it. We want to make sure we're nice and snug. So I'm going to take the slack that is currently here behind my back and bring it forward before I knot my carry. So I'm going to pull all that slack from behind, is now at the front, it's taken into one hand and pull through. Because we've got effectively a horizontal pass and then a cross pass, and ladies, our landscaping and our shape can mean we are a little bit different. Sometimes you end up with a floppy top rail. If that happens, you can remove that slack separately by pulling on just the top rail and bringing that through as well. I'm then going to cross, making sure that you don't let that slack that you took out come back in when you cross and tie to wherever it's comfortable for you. I'm going to tie to my left so it's out of the way in a secure double knot. I've now got the cross over my back, the horizontal piece which I'm going to move out the way while I put baby in, and two cross passes where baby's going to sit. I'm just going to check I've got room to pop her in, and that I'm comfortable, that it doesn't feel too pressured on sort of the neck muscles, more on my shoulder, and that I'm happy, that I'm ready, that I can put her in. We're going to take our baby. This is my newborn size doll. It's a hand stitched doll, and she molds and flops just like a newborn. I'm going to place her nice and high on my shoulder so that I can see and access my cross passes. I'm going to take my hand through, find a foot, so you'll see I've gone all the way down to a foot and popped the foot through. I'm not having to stretch her leg or do any sort of acrobatics, it's just my hand to her foot. I'm then going to bring her onto the opposite shoulder, and then again I'm going to take my hand from my shoulder underneath the pass down so I find her foot and pop her foot through. And at this point I'm going to let her weight sink and just sit on the cross passes. If I have to, I can take some time just to sit and sway and just let her adopt where she wants to be. So you'll see her knees are above her bottom, and I could draw an M shape here. As baby gets bigger, her legs will come slightly further round and this shape will get wider. Her hands are up near her face, so she can suck her thumb if she wants to. I've always kept, you'll see I've not ever let go with both hands. I've always kept one hand on her bottom and one hand just gently supporting under her back. So, once baby is positioned, knee to knee, hand up by her face, I'm going to spread the underneath layer first. So if you can't remember, you can just feel under her bottom to see which one's closest to her bum. And for me, that is the pass that is on my left shoulder. So I'm going to spread over my hand. When it covers my hand, I'm going to swap. My other hand's going to, my left hand now supporting her weight, and I'm going to keep spreading this fabric from knee to knee and shoulder to shoulder before I repeat and do the same on the other side. Knee to knee, shoulder to shoulder. Knees up by her bum. At the minute she feels a bit too high. We want her above our chest, but not quite so we feel like they're in our throat. This will also help in terms of bringing her pelvis towards you and her coccyx to the floor and creating more of that M shape. We're going to bring our hands in. My thumb is in her hip and my hand's going to be flat on her bottom. I'm going to lift and tip and bring her weight, and you'll see her knees have come that bit higher up, but it has changed where the fabric sits, so I am just going to make sure that that fabric is still knee to knee, shoulder to shoulder, before I bring the third layer, which is, I'm going to reach from under in my ribs, down to the floor, over a foot, down to the floor, over her foot, and very gently spreading the third layer up, creating a horizontal line from under my armpit, across the nape of her neck, round under the other armpit, before it then goes up into the cross over my shoulder. At this point, for my comfort, I am going to spread these passes. They are bunched, they're quite uncomfortable for me at the minute. There's a lot of pressure going through a small area, and I want the comfort of the width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bottom rail up, down over my shoulder. You'll see that spread over my back as well, and then fold it back up to create a capped sleeve before I do the same on the other side and up. I don't want to pull so far that it takes it off her, that it affects the cross pass that is in the nape of her neck, that it's still there. Some babies will hide, they will try and hide underneath back into the dark. To do that, I'm going to fold that down and pin it with my shoulder. But again, not changing the direction here. You don't want to go so far that it uncovers her shoulder. If you have a baby who prefers to go in towards mummy, remember we want to be able to get 2 fingers under her chin. So as long as you can get 2 fingers under her chin, don't worry if she's bringing her nose towards you. The nose, if you flatten it, you'll breathe out the side. The issue is if the chin comes onto the chest. So what we're looking for is it to be tight. Yeah, tight. She's in view at all times. She's close enough to kiss. I can keep 2 fingers under her chin at all times, and that the fabric is supporting her back. So that's the shoulder to shoulder as well as the knee to knee.